Welcome to a quiet corner of the night, where the waves of sleep rise gently with the tide. In the time it takes light to travel across the mind of a dreamer, oceans have shaped our world for more than 3.8 billion years. Covering over 70% of Earth's surface and plunging down to depths greater than Mount Everest is tall, the ocean hides its wonders beneath a shimmering veil. With water deeper than the Grand Canyon and currents stronger than the mightiest storm, there are endless mysteries to uncover. Tonight, we will drift through 100 ocean facts, each a ripple in time, designed to soothe the senses and spark gentle awe. If you enjoy these gentle science journeys, I invite you to like and subscribe, or share a favorite fact in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. For now, there's nothing you need to do but rest. Settle in, breathe deeply, and let's begin. Fact 1. The ocean is Earth's largest habitat, stretching over 139 million square miles and cradling 9/10 of all habitable space on our planet. Beneath the rolling waves lies a realm more vast than all the continents combined, its floor still mostly unexplored. Like a great breathing organism, the ocean connects every coast and speaks softly in tides, a rhythm older than humanity. As the moon persuades the water to rise and fall, it also guides countless species who navigate by its gentle pull, tracing invisible paths across worlds we cannot see. In the stillness of night, this hidden expanse becomes a cosmic ocean too, reminding us that Earth is a blue jewel afloat in the silence of the void. Fact 2. In the quiet twilight zone of the ocean, sunlight fades to darkness between 660 and 3,300 feet below the surface. Here, colors vanish one by one, beginning with crimson reds and ending with deep blues, until only black remains. This mysterious region is home to bioluminescent creatures, beings who create their own glow in the absence of light. Lanternfish drift like floating lanterns in a submarine night, and comb jellies flicker with the hues of distant auroras. In this vast dimness, communication unfolds through pulses and glows, a silent conversation in flickers and flashes. It is a layer not easily seen, but always present, humming just beneath the veil of ocean daylight, holding secrets older than time. Fact 3. The deepest known point in Earth's oceans is the Challenger Deep, located in the Mariana Trench of the Western Pacific. It descends nearly 36,000 feet, or almost 7 miles straight down, a chasm so profound it could engulf Mount Everest and still have room to spare. At these crushing depths, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level. And yet, life persists. Microorganisms thrive in hydrothermal vents, feeding off chemicals in the darkness, while ghostly amphipods and snailfish drift in slow-motion silence. This trench, carved over millions of years, whispers of a world untouched by sunlight, where time itself seems to sink gently into the abyss. It is one of Earth's final frontiers, a place more remote than the surface of the moon, humming with mystery beneath a surface that appears so calm. Fact 4. The ocean holds over 95% of Earth's water, yet we have explored less than 20% of its vast underwater expanse. Every dive uncovers something new, from ancient shipwrecks lost to history to delicate species that shimmer like living glass. It is a realm richer in biodiversity than the rainforests, yet still unfolding like the pages of an unread book. In the cold, dark corners of the sea, life adapts in astonishing ways, growing without sunlight, metamorphosing under pressure, and weaving entire ecosystems around geothermal warmth. As we sleep, the ocean pulses with unseen rhythms, telling ancient stories in currents and tides, waiting patiently to be known. Fact 5. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, support an estimated 25% of all marine species, while covering less than 1% of the ocean floor. These living structures are built slowly by tiny coral polyps over centuries, their calcium skeletons stacking like underwater cities glowing with color. A single reef can house thousands of species, from darting clownfish to slow-gliding sea turtles. Despite their vibrance, corals are fragile, sensitive to shifts in temperature and acidity, whispering early warnings about a changing world. In the soft ballet of tide and current, reefs breathe in the world around them, filtering life through delicate fingers of stone and tissue. As night falls over shallow waters, bioluminescent plankton surge in shimmering tides, lighting up the reefs like constellations in an inverted sky. Fact 6. The blue whale, the largest animal to have ever lived, calls the ocean home. Reaching lengths of nearly 100 feet and weighing up to 200 tons, its heart is the size of a small car and beats just once every 10 seconds when at rest. These gentle giants glide slowly through deep waters, feeding on tiny krill by the ton, their haunting songs traveling for hundreds of miles through liquid darkness. Despite their size, they move with grace, like drifting planets in a sea of stars. Ancient mariners once mistook them for islands, unaware that beneath the still surface was a creature larger than dinosaurs, humming softly through layers of time. In their long, slow travels, whales stitch the oceans together with invisible threads of deep sound, echoes that reverberate across whole basins, echoing the age and scale of the world beneath the waves. Fact 7. The ocean's tides are orchestrated by a cosmic ballet between Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. Twice each day, vast volumes of seawater shift across the planet, pulled gently by celestial gravity. These tides breathe life into coastal ecosystems, flushing nutrients through estuaries and shaping the lives of creatures great and small. In some places, like Canada's Bay of Fundy, the tide rises over 50 feet, revealing the seabed like a forgotten world before drawing it back under a silver mirror of waves. To walk along the shore at low tide is to glimpse the boundary between two realms. Tidal pools become miniature universes, where sea anemones sway in rhythm with a world far beyond sight, and time is measured not in minutes, but in lunar whispers and saltwater sighs. Fact 8. Beneath the ocean's surface lies a vast conveyor belt of water known as the global thermohaline circulation. This deep current, sometimes called the ocean's heartbeat, slowly moves seawater across the planet, taking centuries to complete a single loop. Driven by differences in temperature and salinity, it carries warm waters from the tropics toward the poles and sends cold waters sinking down to scour the ocean floor. It is this quiet circulation that helps regulate Earth's climate, distributing heat like a gentle hand across continents and seeding rain in distant lands. Without it, Seasons would shift unpredictably, and regions would alternate between drought and flood. Yet this unseen river flows soundlessly beneath the waves, a reminder that the most powerful forces often move in silence, hidden in the long exhale of time. Fact 9. Beneath Arctic ice and Antarctic silence lies the domain of sea ice, frozen seawater that waxes and wanes with the seasons, covering up to 7% of the Earth's surface in winter. This fragile crust forms at the edges of our world, crackling and shifting like glass under celestial winds. Though it appears still, the sea ice ecosystem teems with life. Algae grow undersurface, painting emerald light through the ice, nourishing tiny copepods and krill that in turn feed seals, narwhals, and polar bears. Its presence safeguards the planet, reflecting sunlight back into space and slowing the absorption of heat. As the ice retreats with warming trends, it sings a quiet farewell, a vanishing mirror to the sky. In its frozen beauty lies a breathless tranquility, as though the ocean itself is holding its breath, waiting. Fact 10. Some of the most ancient sounds on Earth come from the ocean's depths, where mysterious, low-frequency hums echo through liquid corridors. One such sound, known as the upsweep, was first recorded in 1991. It repeats seasonally in the Pacific Ocean, rising and falling like a mechanical sigh, its origin still unknown. Another, the bloop, was once believed to be the call of an undiscovered sea creature, until scientists traced it back to ice quakes caused by Antarctic glaciers. Even earthquakes and undersea volcanoes leave their voices suspended in water, tones that can travel thousands of miles. These are the ocean's murmurs, woven into its fabric like memories in the walls of a cathedral. They form a hidden song, ancient and unending, that flows just beneath our world, waiting to be heard between the spaces of sleep and sea. Fact 11. Deep within the ocean lie underwater mountains known as seamounts, towering peaks that rise from the sea floor without ever breaking the surface. Some of these submerged giants stand taller than the Rockies, hidden kingdoms cloaked in shadow and swirling currents. There are over 100,000 such formations scattered across the ocean basins, each one a microcosm of life. Cold, nutrient-rich waters swirl around their slopes, attracting schools of fish, corals, and deep-sea creatures rarely seen by human eyes. These isolated summits serve as stepping stones in the vast deep, allowing species to migrate and ecosystems to thrive in a slow-motion dance of evolution. To glide over a seamount in the silence of a submersible is to visit a landscape as alien as any found in the cosmos, yet every bit as alive, humming softly with secrets carried by the sea. Fact 12. The ocean floor is laced with vast canyons, some of which dwarf those found on dry land. The Monterey Canyon, off the coast of California, for instance, plunges more than 2 miles deep, deeper than the Grand Canyon stretches tall. These submerged valleys were carved not by wind or rain, but by ancient rivers and undersea landslides, their courses now hidden beneath the tides. Within their shadowed steepness, strange life flourishes, brittle stars clinging to rocky ledges, squid drifting like apparitions through liquid gulches, and corals blooming silently on walls of stone. Currents slip between these corridors like breath through a flute, whispering over eons of sediment and silence. Each canyon, is a memory deep set in the Earth's skin, holding whispers of how water, not wind, shaped the hidden face of our planet. Fact 13. Far below the surface, in a world beyond light, lies a phenomenon known as marine snow. This gentle fall of organic particles drifts endlessly through the water column, like snowfall in reverse, descending from the illuminated upper ocean to the silent abyss. Made of tiny bits of dead plankton, fecal matter, and microscopic debris, marine snow nourishes the depths, feeding creatures that will never glimpse the surface. As it floats downward, this snow becomes a feast for waiting filter feeders, passing through ghostly layers filled with jellyfish, larvaceans, and drifting crustaceans. It is a cycle of renewal born from decay, poetry in motion beneath the waves, connecting all layers of ocean life in an invisible thread. In the hush of night, when all is still and the stars glow overhead, marine snow continues to fall below, a quiet blizzard of memory and matter that never touches the land. Fact 14. In the blackness of the Hadal Zone, deeper than 20,000 feet below the surface, pressure rises to crushing extremes, and temperatures hover just above freezing. Yet even in this extreme world, life breathes. Amphipods, tiny crustaceans with translucent shells, scavenge along the trench floors, while unique species of sea cucumbers gently inch forward in slow-motion solitude. Adapted to absolute darkness, these creatures rely not on sight, but on the subtle dance of movement and chemistry. Here, evolution has sculpted life like a careful whisper, fine-tuning bone structures to resist pressure and exchanging pigments for sensory bristles. The Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the ancient Greek god of the underworld, is not a dead land, but a hidden refuge, a final sanctuary where the resilience of life writes silent verses in the language of deep time. In this otherworldly stillness, it is not silence that reigns, but a soft endurance, echoing the vast patience of the sea. Fact 15. The Sargasso Sea is a curious region of the Atlantic Ocean with no land boundaries, defined instead by a circulating ocean current known as the North Atlantic Gyre. This unique sea floats between Bermuda and the Azores, embracing a vast, serene patch of warm, deep blue water covered in golden-brown seaweed called sargassum. These floating rafts create a miniature forest at sea, home to seahorses, young sea turtles, and camouflaged crabs. Unlike most parts of the ocean, the Sargasso Sea is calm despite being surrounded by some of the most powerful currents on Earth. Sailors once feared its stillness, imagining entrapment in its weedy embrace, but modern science sees it as a cradle of marine life. Suspended between the swells, the Sargasso is a quiet breath in the ocean's long song, a place where stillness hums with life, and drifting forms tell ancient stories shaped by slow rotation and solitude. Fact 16. Hidden beneath the ocean's surface, mid-ocean ridges stretch like scars along the seafloor, forming the longest continuous mountain range on Earth. Spanning more than 40,000 miles, these submarine chains mark the places where tectonic plates slowly drift apart, birthing new crust as molten rock rises from deep within the mantle. Along the mid-Atlantic ridge, volcanic springs known as hydrothermal vents hiss and steam in total darkness. These vents, some hotter than 700 degrees Fahrenheit, support entire ecosystems built not on sunlight, but on chemosynthesis, a process where bacteria convert minerals into energy. Towering chimney-like structures called black smokers rise from the crust, cloaked in strange forms of life like tube worms with crimson plumes and ghost-white crabs. This is a world of fire hidden beneath water, a reminder that creation endures quietly beneath Earth's sleepiest places, breathing warmth into the deep with every silent fissure. Fact 17. Jellyfish, among the oldest living creatures in the ocean, have pulsed through Earth's seas for over 500 million years, predating even dinosaurs. Some species are nearly invisible, their translucent bodies drifting like delicate ghosts through the water. The lion's mane jellyfish, the largest known, can trail tentacles over 100 feet long, longer than a blue whale. Others, like the immortal jellyfish, possess a rare biological ability to revert to an earlier life stage, potentially escaping death itself in an endless cycle of rebirth. With no brain, no heart, and no bones, jellyfish move only by the rhythm of water and light. As they rise and fall in slow spirals, they seem to dance with time itself, illuminated by moonlight and memory, floating through seas that remember epochs long past. Fact 18. The ocean is not just a place of water, but of sound, where vibrations travel nearly 5 times faster than through air. In this liquid realm, marine animals have evolved extraordinary ways to listen, navigate, and communicate. Whales send low-frequency calls across entire ocean basins. Cod grunt and croak during mating rituals, and snapping shrimp produce pops so loud they can stun small prey. Some creatures, like the beluga whale, are called the canaries of the sea for their wide range of vocalizations, while others remain silent, feeling the tremble of distant movement through sensitive bones and flesh. Even coral reefs make noise, a subtle crackle of life that guides larvae back home. In the dark waters where light cannot reach, sound becomes a language as old as the tides, echoing the lives and songs of countless generations under the waves. Listening to the ocean is like reading an ancient script, written not in ink, but in trembling rhythms that pass like whispers from one end of the sea to another. Fact 19. Along the gentle slopes of tropical seas lie the emerald forests of the ocean, seagrass meadows. Unlike seaweed, which is algae, seagrass is a true flowering plant, complete with roots, stems, and tiny blossoms swaying silently beneath the waves. These underwater fields, stretching across shallow seabeds, play a vital role in ocean health. They produce oxygen, stabilize sediment, and provide shelter for young fish, rays, and endangered creatures like the dugong. A single acre of seagrass can generate over 10 tons of organic matter each year and absorb as much carbon as a forest of trees. Their blades ripple softly with tide and light, a living lullaby beneath coastal calm, whispering of balance and quiet resilience. In their stillness, they remind us that even the gentlest things can hold the world together. Fact 20. Some fish never stop swimming, not even to sleep. Among them, species like the great white shark and certain tuna must move constantly to push water over their gills and breathe. In place of traditional sleep, their brains rest in phases, one hemisphere at a time, allowing them to remain alert while drifting through the vastness of the ocean. Picture a great white gliding through moonlit water, one eye open, its muscles relaxed, but its mind softly vigilant. This delicate balance between motion and rest is a reminder that even within endless movement, there can be peace. Their slow passage through currents is like a lullaby in motion, an ancient rhythm resonating through dark waves, where rest is not stillness, but a quiet surrender to the flow of the sea. Fact 21. Some octopuses possess a startling, dreamlike intelligence, with neurons not only in their brains, but throughout their arms, over 500 million in total. Each limb can sense, taste, and even carry out independent actions, as if every arm holds a mind of its own. The common octopus, for example, can navigate mazes, open jars, and mimic other species, all while wrapped in shifting veils of color and texture. Under moonlit waters, they change shape and hue like watercolor spilt in reverse, vanishing against coral or sand. Their ability to camouflage is not only a defense, but a language of light, a silent shimmer of signals across soft skin. And when they sleep, some species twitch and flash in bursts of color, possibly dreaming in luminous shades, their thoughts flowing in waves like the tides themselves. In these delicate, alien lives, we glimpse the ocean's secret mind, intricate and unknowable, pulsing quietly in the still, dark deep. Fact 22. The ocean's surface may seem like the end of the sky, but just beneath it lie vast swarms of pelagic wanderers, creatures that drift across the open sea, untethered to any shore. Known as plankton, this name comes from the Greek word for drifter and includes a hidden multitude. Plant-like phytoplankton that bloom in vast green clouds, and zooplankton, tiny animals that float with the currents like airborne seeds in an underwater breeze. Phytoplankton produce more than half of the world's oxygen, their photosynthesis sweeping across the sunlit layers of the sea like an invisible breath. By night, some glow softly with bioluminescence, creating luminous stretches known as milky seas, vast glowing waters witnessed even from space. These drifters, though minute, shape the fate of climate, food chains, and light itself. In their gentle pulsing and slow migration, they cradle the memory of sunlight long after it disappears below the horizon. Fact 23. Underwater caves, known as blue holes, are among the most hauntingly beautiful features of the ocean. These deep, circular sinkholes can plunge hundreds of feet beneath coastal islands and atolls, their entrances glowing a surreal blue due to the way sunlight filters through the water. The Great Blue Hole in Belize is more than 1,000 feet across and nearly 400 feet deep, formed during the last ice age when sea levels were much lower. Within their quiet descent, these sinkholes preserve layers of chemistry and time, recording shifts in ancient rainfalls and harboring rare, extremophile species found nowhere else on Earth. Diving into a blue hole is like slipping into a silence older than memory. Surrounded by still walls of limestone and darkness hugged by color, it feels like floating inside a forgotten echo. These submerged cathedrals of stone and water speak not in words, but in layers of stillness, inviting gentle awe in the hush between breaths. Fact 24. Beneath polar waters, where darkness lasts for months and light returns in hushed pastels, lives a creature of whispered legend, the Greenland shark. One of the oldest vertebrates on Earth, this slow-moving giant can live for over 400 years, a lifespan that stretches back to times long before the invention of the telescope or the printing press. Growing up to 24 feet in length, it drifts silently through frigid depths, its movements measured and deliberate. The Greenland shark's flesh is toxic if not specially prepared, perhaps adding to the mystery it carries through ancient waters. Studying these sharks has revealed clues about longevity and the slow rhythms of cold-adapted life, each heartbeat a patient echo in the deep. Like a living time capsule, the Greenland shark offers a glimpse into centuries past, swimming still, unhurried, through waters that remember everything. Fact 25. Along the ocean floor lie whispers of the planet's past in the form of deep-sea sediments, layers of fine particles that settle slowly over time, no more than a few centimeters every 1,000 years. These sediments, composed of microscopic shells, volcanic ash, and dust blown from distant deserts, form a chronological library of Earth's history. Within them are preserved the fingerprints of changing climates, extinct species, and even the echoes of meteor impacts. Scientists extract slender cores from the seabed, revealing bands of color and composition that read like the rings of ancient trees. In this slow and silent accumulation, the ocean keeps its own memory, a quiet record written in the smallest of grains, resting calmly under miles of pressing water. It is here, in the hush of the abyssal plain, that time takes its deepest breath and begins to dream. Fact 26. The leatherback sea turtle, the largest of all turtles, journeys farther and dives deeper than any other reptile on Earth. Reaching lengths of over 7 feet and weighing up to 2,000 pounds, it crosses entire oceans in search of jellyfish, its primary prey. Unlike other turtles, its shell is not hard, but leathery and flexible, an adaptation that allows it to withstand extreme pressures as it dives to depths exceeding 4,000 feet. These ancient mariners have existed for more than 100 million years, surviving asteroid impacts and shifting continents, their life story etched in silent migrations across immense distances. They navigate using Earth's magnetic field, an internal compass fixed not by stars, but by the very bones of the planet. As they glide through dark waters, their presence is a reminder of persistence and pulse, of how life endures not with haste, but with the long, slow grace of a tide returning home. Fact 27. Under the waves near hydrothermal vents exists a creature so strange it seems spun from myth: the Pompeii worm. This deep-sea organism endures temperatures nearing 176 degrees Fahrenheit, surviving at the brink where boiling water meets freezing ocean. Its body is covered in colonies of heat-tolerant bacteria that shimmer like filaments of soot and act as a living shield, protecting it from scalding heat. It fastens itself to vent walls with silk-like threads, waving its feathery head in the nutrient-rich flow. The Pompeii worm is not just a marvel of survival, but a quiet testament to life's adaptability, to its relentless whisper along the boundaries of existence. In this place, where fire and water meet, where light never reaches, the worm glides slowly, its world illuminated not by sun, but by chemical exchange, forging peace where chaos should reign. Fact 28. Stretching from the coasts of Chile to the western edge of Polynesia, the South Pacific Gyre marks one of the most remote and pristine patches of the ocean, a region so isolated that rainwater takes years to cleanse its skies, and ocean debris rarely arrives. In its heart lies the so-called oceanic pole of inaccessibility, or Point Nemo, the spot on Earth farthest from any land. The nearest humans to this location are often astronauts aboard the International Space Station. This watery expanse is a realm of stillness, bordered by swirling currents, a place where time feels diluted and distance profound. Named after Captain Nemo from Jules Verne's Tales, the area is sometimes used as a final resting ground for decommissioned spacecraft, their metal husks sinking quietly into the deep. Here, in this most lonesome place on the planet, the ocean holds a silence so pure, even echoes hesitate to linger. It is a cradle of solitude, where the sea sings softly to itself and dreams drift unspoken across 10,000 miles of blue. Fact 29. In the heart of the Indian Ocean, off the coasts of the Maldives and Sri Lanka, lies a brilliant phenomenon known as sea sparkle, a spectacle caused by bioluminescent plankton called dinoflagellates. When agitated by movement, these tiny organisms emit a soft blue glow, lighting up footprints in the sand and the trails of swimming fish in mesmerizing neon. At night, waves lap the shore with shimmering curls of light, as if the stars themselves have pooled in the shallows. This glowing tide often appears after warm, calm days, turning quiet beaches into scenes from a dream, where every splash becomes a spark and every ripple a spell. Though its beauty feels like magic, sea sparkle is a product of life's quiet chemistry, a simple reaction that, under moonlit calm, becomes a gentle reminder that wonder often arrives without warning, tucked into the smallest living things beneath the tide. Fact 30. Far beneath the surf, there exists a creature with a lantern for a face. The anglerfish, a deep-sea predator born in perpetual darkness. The female anglerfish dangles a glowing spine lit by symbiotic bacteria from her forehead to lure curious prey into her cavernous jaws. Some are smaller than a teacup, others stretch out like drifting shadows, their gaping mouths lined with translucent teeth that curve inward like cages. In the deep, where every scrap of energy matters, male anglerfish are tiny in comparison, fusing permanently to females in a strange bond, sharing blood and nutrients in a lifelong embrace. This eerie symbiosis reflects the extremes of adaptation in Earth's most shadowed domain. Floating amid the silent pressure of the bathypelagic zone, the anglerfish is part flickering ghost, part ancient riddle, carrying its own light like a dream stitched to its bones, a drifting beacon in a place where darkness has always been the rule, not the exception. Fact 31. Near the colder edges of the Atlantic floats a peculiar jellyfish-like creature known as the Portuguese man-o'-war. Though it appears to be a single being, it is in fact a siphonophore, a colonial organism made up of many specialized individuals working together as one. Its gas-filled, iridescent float sails delicately on the ocean's surface, while long tentacles trail below, sometimes exceeding lengths of 100 feet. These tendrils deliver a powerful sting, capturing fish and plankton in the blue quiet below. The man-o'-war is moved not by its own will, but by the winds and currents, drifting across the sea like a fragile ship of glass. To watch it is to witness a calm paradox, a creature so still above, yet so active and alive underneath, threading silently through water with a beauty both delicate and dangerous, like a living ribbon of sleep and spark. Fact 32. Along the sea floor, nestled in narrow crevices and darkened grottos, dwell the Dumbo octopuses, deep-sea creatures named for the ear-like fins that gently flap like wings on either side of their heads. These softly gelatinous beings glide rather than swim, using their fins and a gentle pulsing of their arms to steer through the shadowy waters of the abyss. Rarely seen by humans, Dumbo octopuses inhabit depths reaching beyond 13,000 feet, where sunlight has never touched and pressure squeezes every surface. Despite the harshness of their home, they seem to dance, their movements graceful and ghost-like, like dreams without gravity. They feed by pouncing upon prey with sudden folds of webbed arms, then float once more through currents untouched by season or storm. Each sighting is like discovering a childhood story come to life, a fleeting echo of wonder, muffled beneath miles of quiet sea. Fact 33. In the shallow coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific, tiny blue-striped creatures known as mandarin fish glide through coral gardens like living jewels. Measuring only a few inches long, their bodies shimmer with electric blues, oranges, and greens, colors so vivid they almost seem unreal, a painter's dream hidden in coral shadows. Uniquely, these fish produce their own mucus coating, oily and pungent, which protects them from parasites and predators in the densely woven reef. Mandarin fish are shy, emerging mostly at dusk to perform slow, spiraling courtship dances. As twilight falls, pairs float together into the plankton-rich current, twirling in tandem like figures in a silent ballet. Their brief union is fleeting, a delicate shimmer in the fading light, before they vanish once more into the coral's embrace. In a world of still currents and lazy tides, the mandarin fish is a whisper of vibrant life, a brushstroke of color on an endless, aqueous canvas. Fact 34. Off the coastlines of Iceland and Norway, in the frozen arms of the North Atlantic, swims a peculiar fish that lives longer than nearly any other vertebrate, the Greenland halibut. Dwelling in cold, dark waters, sometimes deeper than 6,000 feet, this slow-growing fish can live for more than 50 years, silently patrolling the continental slope like a shadow between layers. Its body, flattened with both eyes oddly perched on the same side, speaks of the ocean's strange design for life that evolves in stillness and pressure. Feeding quietly on squid and smaller fish, the halibut moves with economy, drifting in slow arcs that follow the patterns of benthic tides. This guardian of the deep sees centuries pass in silence, its scales holding the quiet history of water columns and polar ice, like pages bound in brine and dusk. Watching it move is like watching time breathe, slow, muted, with the patience of a world that holds no urgency, only depth. Fact 35. Deep in the Southern Ocean, swirling around the icy continent of Antarctica, flows the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the mightiest of all ocean currents, moving more water than any other on Earth. It is the only current that circles the globe uninterrupted, tethered to no landmass, guided only by the shape of Earth itself. This conveyor of cold connects the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, redistributing heat and nutrients in an endless loop. It stirs the hidden layers of sea, unlocking ancient waters trapped in the deep, breathing life back to the surface. Seabirds wheel above its path, and krill bloom thick below, forming the base of a food chain that feeds whales and seals. The current pulses like a planetary heartbeat, a ring of rhythm shaping weather, ice, and life itself. In its vast, ceaseless flow, there is a deep reassurance that the ocean, even in silence, is always moving, always remembering the choreography of the Earth's breath. Fact 36. Floating in the balmy waters of the Indo-Pacific, the blanket octopus unfurls its arms like a silken sailboat adrift in a cathedral of blue. The female, dramatically larger than the male, sometimes by a ratio of 40,000 to 1, can stretch up to 6 feet in length, trailing delicate webs of skin between her arms that shimmer like gossamer curtains in the current. These flowing membranes, known as blankets, unfurl defensively to scare predators, transforming the octopus into a drifting banner of grace and illusion. Males, barely the size of a walnut, live brief lives and often sacrifice themselves in the act of mating. The blanket octopus is immune to the venom of the Portuguese man-o'-war and has even been observed wielding its stinging tentacles like borrowed weapons. Here, in oceanic quietude, it dances with danger and survival alike, a living wisp woven from courage, color, and the poetry of adaptation. Fact 37. In the swirling tides near kelp forests and rocky shores lives the sea otter, a buoyant guardian of the coastal ecosystem. Unlike most marine mammals, sea otters lack a thick layer of blubber and instead rely on the densest fur in the animal kingdom, with up to 1 million hairs per square inch to keep warm in cold waters. These clever creatures sleep floating on their backs, often wrapping themselves in kelp to prevent drifting, like children clutching blankets in twilight. They use stones as tools to crack through the armored shells of sea urchins and clams, a rare behavior in the underwater world. By preying on sea urchins, they help maintain the delicate balance of kelp forests, preventing overgrazing and allowing these undersea jungles to flourish. The sea otter's gentle gaze, its soft paws nibbling beneath the moonlit surface, is a reminder that not all protectors are grand or fearsome. Some are small, floating like dreams, helmed in curiosity and covered in the warmth of resilience. Fact 38. High above the deep trenches and coral reefs, in the open ocean where the horizon blends with sky, soars the flying fish, a creature caught between two worlds. With fins shaped like wings, it bursts from the water at speeds over 35 miles per hour, gliding for hundreds of feet through the humid air before splashing back down in silver arcs. These flights are not just momentary escapes, but elegant evasions used to elude predators below. Schools of flying fish often leap together, catching the last rays of sunset on their scales like scattered sparks over twilight waters. Their liftoff begins with a flick and ends with a hush, a moment of weightless wonder suspended between wave and breeze. As they dance above deep currents, they remind us that even in the most fluid of realms, there are moments of flight, of quiet defiance, and of beauty that slips silently between the elements. Fact 39. Tucked into the shadows of coral reefs and seagrass beds, the cuttlefish moves like a thought unspoken, cloaked in colors that change at will. It is not a fish, but a mollusk, closely related to squids and octopuses, and possesses one of the most sophisticated camouflage systems in the animal world. With over 20 million pigment cells in its skin, a cuttlefish can shift from sand gray to coral bright in less than a second. Even more curiously, it does this despite being colorblind, reading the world through polarization and contrast instead. It communicates with its skin as well as its arms, sending rippling waves of pattern down its body like silent language. During courtship, it shimmers and flares with mesmerizing displays, a soft ballet of color and pulse that speaks of connection beyond sound. In the quiet reef, where currents whisper and everything drifts in slow time, the cuttlefish becomes both painter and painting, a living brushstroke moving gently through the hush of the sea. Fact 40. Deep among the ocean's cloaked regions drifts the giant larvation, a translucent creature no larger than a finger, yet capable of building one of the most intricate structures in the sea. Using mucus spun from its tiny body, the larvation constructs a delicate, balloon-like filter house that can be many times its own size, complete with elaborate passages to sift food from the water. When the structure clogs, the larvation discards it and begins again, letting the abandoned structure sink slowly into the deep, joining the rain of marine snow. These drifting houses gather carbon and nutrients on their descent, feeding unseen creatures along the way. To witness a larvation at work is to see architecture on a miniature scale, soft and ephemeral, crafted in silence from the threads of breath itself. In the vast theater of the deep, where pressure and time are the stagehands, even the smallest beings play roles of quiet magnificence. Fact 41. Hidden along tempered coastlines, swaying in the shallows like submerged forests, are kelp forests, some of the fastest growing organisms on Earth. Giant kelp can stretch up to 2 feet a day, reaching for the sunlight that filters softly through the ocean's surface. Anchored to rocky bottoms by holdfasts that resemble roots, they rise in leafy towers filled with light and life. Sea otters twist between their fronds, while countless fish and crustaceans weave through the golden canopy. These underwater woodlands absorb carbon dioxide, enrich biodiversity, and cushion coasts from storm surge like silent green sentinels. As currents sway their heavy arms, a hush descends beneath their branches, blanketing the ocean floor in a light dappled calm. To drift beneath a kelp forest is to enter a cathedral of motion and stillness, where shadows move like thoughts, and even the bubbles seem hushed by reverence. Fact 42. Buried under layers of darkness in the deepest parts of the ocean lives the barrel-eye fish, a small, ghostly creature with a transparent head and tubular eyes that can rotate inside its skull. These upward-looking lenses allow it to detect the faint silhouettes of prey drifting above, even in the almost total blackness of the midnight zone. Within its domed forehead, the green-lensed eyes hover like glass marbles, encased in clear tissue that shimmers like a liquid window. Measuring only a few inches in length, the barrel eye remains motionless much of the time, conserving energy and watching the shadows. Discovered in the 1930s, but only photographed alive decades later, its appearance is otherworldly, like something imagined rather than evolved. In this dreamlike stillness beneath the crushing weight of sea, it gazes upward without fear, a quiet sentinel beneath the edge of the known, reminding us how many eyes may be watching from beneath the veil of the waves. Fact 43. In the Gulf of Mexico and other warm coastal waters, there dwells a creature shaped like a folded ribbon, the sea hare. Neither a hare nor a fish, it is a large, soft-bodied marine mollusk that glides slowly across the seafloor, grazing on algae. Some species grow as long as 2 feet, their mantle rippling like velvet in the tide, tones of soft green and plum blending with the seagrass around them. When alarmed, the sea hare releases a cloud of purple ink, a gentle defense that turns the surrounding water into a shaded veil. Unlike many of its relatives, the sea hare is nearly blind, navigating through touch and chemical cues, sensing the sea's pulse with every glide. It is a symbol of the ocean's quietude, delicate, slow, and hypnotic in its movement, like a brush moving gently across a forgotten canvas, painting silence into the waking dream of the sea. Fact 44. In the shimmering shallows of the Pacific and Indian Oceans lives the peacock mantis shrimp, a small crustacean cloaked in iridescent armor that gleams with every color of the rainbow. Only a few inches long, it wields one of the fastest strikes in the animal kingdom, a sudden punch delivered with such speed that it creates cavitation bubbles, collapsing with a flash of heat and light. Its club-like appendages can crack shells and even aquarium glass, yet within this power resides complexity. The mantis shrimp's eyes, perched like periscopes, can detect polarized light and see colors far beyond the human spectrum, including ultraviolet. Each compound eye moves independently, scanning its surroundings with eerie precision. In this tiny creature lies a fusion of grace and ferocity, color and force, sight and silence. It is a warrior poet of the reef, armored in light and mystery, drifting through coral mazes where hidden brilliance stirs just beneath the calm. Fact 45. Nestled within the warm lagoons and mangrove roots of tropical coastlines thrives the seahorse, a creature of gentle grace and quiet peculiarity. With curled tails and upright posture, seahorses drift more like leaves than fish, propelled by the almost invisible flutter of a dorsal fin that beats up to 50 times per second. Males, rare among animals, are the ones who bear the young, carrying eggs in a specialized brood pouch until tiny replicas emerge, curled like commas, ready to stretch into stories. From miniature individuals just millimeters long, entire generations unfold in watery patience. Their bodies are armored in delicate plates, making them both resilient and fragile, a contradiction that mirrors the ocean itself. In beds of seagrass or coral outcrops, they cling silently to strands with prehensile tails, bobbing gently with the tide. To see a seahorse is to glimpse a whispered fairy tale drifting just beneath the ripples, a reminder that the sea holds wonders measured not by size, but by the quiet charm of balance and belonging. Fact 46. Somewhere beneath the glassy surface where the Indian Ocean meets the Pacific, there swims a creature both gentle and elusive, the dugong, sometimes called the sea cow. Cousin to the manatee, the dugong glides slowly through shallow bays and estuaries, grazing peacefully on seagrass meadows. With a rounded snout and soulful eyes, its presence feels like an ancient whisper carried by warm tides. Weighing up to 900 pounds, it can trace its lineage back millions of years, yet its modern life drifts quietly in peril, threatened by habitat loss and boat strikes. Dugongs surface with a soft puff of breath, then vanish again beneath the green, stirring no ripples as they feed under the sun's sleepy gaze. Seen rarely, they are memories in motion, reminders of calmness made flesh, slowly navigating the tides like living lullabies in a sea that remembers every breath ever drawn beneath its waves. Fact 47. In the dim blue corridors of continental shelf waters, schools of flashlight fish swim silently, their faces flickering with eerie green light. These small marine fish harbor bioluminescent bacteria in special pouches beneath their eyes, which they can open or close like eyelids. In darkness, they communicate and navigate by blinking this light in pulses and patterns, like living lanterns drifting through an ink-black dream. During moonless nights, entire shoals seem to vanish and reappear, complex signals flashing across their ranks in perfect silence. Some use the light to hunt, startling plankton into motion, while others may flash to confuse predators, dissolving into paths of shimmer. For centuries, Sailors told of glowing seas and lights beneath their boats, never knowing they were glimpsing these gentle heralds of the deep. With each flicker, the flashlight fish etches a momentary signature across the waters of night, reminding us that even in the ocean's darkest reaches, something small always glows with purpose. Fact 48. Along the sheer ice shoals of Antarctica's Weddell Sea glides an ethereal predator, the blackfin icefish, one of the only vertebrates known to survive without hemoglobin in its blood. Transparent-bodied and pale as frost, this eerie resident of sub-zero currents relies on the high levels of oxygen dissolved in cold waters to circulate life through its ghostly frame. Its blood runs clear, like liquid glass, and its metabolism slows to a near-Arctic hush, preserving energy in the harshest of habitats. The blackfin icefish feeds slowly, often on krill and other drifting organisms, cruising through waters that hover just above freezing. Its existence is fragile, almost spectral, a lesson in presence through absence, survival via stillness. In its patient motion beneath the ice, it emerges not as a creature of lack, but as one of perfect, quiet adaptation. A winter spirit folded into the hush of the frozen sea, pulsing with the minimal rhythm of glacial time. Fact 49. Buried deep within the whispering folds of coastal sands lives a master of invisibility, the stargazer. Named for its upward-facing eyes, this peculiar fish buries itself just beneath the seabed, leaving only its eyes and mouth exposed, watching patiently for prey to pass above. Some species even possess bioluminescent lures hidden inside their mouths, glowing faintly like a signal in the dark. In one sudden burst, the stargazer strikes with startling precision, folding the quiet of stillness into the shock of motion. Their bodies are flattened and adapted for ambush, yet their expressionless faces seem perpetually serene, as if contemplating the dance of shadow above. Despite their eerie appearance and electric abilities in some species, these fish remain hushed guardians of the sand, haunting the border between sea and earth. In the soft hush of continental shores, where waves hush secrets into the dunes, the stargazer waits with eyes toward the stars, still and secret as the sea itself. Fact 50. In the stillness of deep waters, where currents slow and the sea bends gently around submerged peaks, thrives a colony-building creature called the pyrosome. Composed of thousands of tiny zooids embedded in a gelatinous tube, the pyrosome drifts through the open ocean like a dream made tangible. Some grow as long as a school bus, their translucent bodies pulsing with bioluminescent light, shimmering in sync as the colony breathes and moves as one. Each individual contributes to the whole, filtering plankton and sharing nutrients through a quiet, communal existence. Sailors have described encountering glowing tubes gliding silently beneath the surface, spectral and mesmerizing, as though a piece of the aurora had submerged and become alive. The pyrosome is not just a creature, but a harmony, a soft song of many lives woven gently into one, luminous and weightless, wandering through the watery cosmos like a drifting constellation we have only just begun to understand. Fact 51. Lurking in the shadows of underwater caves and deep crevices is a creature as old and secretive as the sea itself, the giant isopod. Related to the pill bugs that curl under fallen leaves, these deep-sea scavengers have grown to astonishing sizes, reaching up to 20 inches in length. With armored shells and compound eyes adapted for darkness, they trundle slowly along the ocean floor, feeding on the remains of whales, fish, and squid that drift down from above. Their presence speaks of patience, of a world lived in slow cycles where meals may be years apart and movement is measured by need, not haste. Clad in pale exoskeletons and folded limbs, they resemble ancient sentinels, untouched by sunlight and unchanged by time. To see a giant isopod is to witness the quiet resilience of a world that endures not with spectacle, but with service. Cleaners of the deep, silent caretakers of the sea's forgotten forests. Fact 52. Hovering in the tranquil midwaters of the Pacific lies the glass squid, a creature so translucent it appears almost invisible in the twilight zone. Its body, clear as sea crystal, allows it to blend seamlessly with the dim surroundings, escaping the gaze of predators below. Some species of glass squid gently pulse with bioluminescent shimmer, illuminating their undersides to mask their silhouettes against the sun-streaked surface above. Hanging motionless like a suspended lantern, it uses slow fin movements to maintain position, its round, balloon-like body gliding through layers of fading light. Its eyes, veiled in pigment to shield from upward gleam, tilt patiently toward brightness, watching for the soft silhouettes of drifting prey. In this delicate balance of exposure and invisibility, the glass squid glows with the artistry of survival, a quiet presence shaped by shadows and sheen, floating through the sea like a whisper, nearly unseen, but never unfelt. Fact 53. Nestled within the warm coastal waters of Southeast Asia, the flamboyant cuttlefish roams the seafloor in short, deliberate steps rather than the graceful swimming motions seen in its relatives. This small cephalopod, no larger than a human hand, wears a shifting cloak of vivid purples, yellows, and reds, pulsing with color like a lantern signaling through sand and coral. Unlike other cuttlefish, its body remains rigid as it walks, supported by specialized arms, as if tiptoeing with purpose through dreamlike landscapes. When threatened, it flares into dazzling displays, its skin rippling with dramatic hues, warning that, despite its elegance, it carries venom potent enough to defend itself. In quiet reef corners and silty bottoms, the flamboyant cuttlefish becomes both performer and presence, a living watercolor that dances with light and alarm, reminding us that beauty and caution often walk side by side in the silent choreography of the sea. Fact 54. Threading through the open waters of the tropics, the long, silvery form of the sailfish moves like lightning wrapped in a fin. With a speed that can exceed 68 miles per hour, it is often considered the fastest fish in the ocean. Its namesake sail, a tall, ridged dorsal fin, ripples above its body like a banner in the current, helping it to herd schools of smaller fish during the chase. Iridescent blues and purples flicker across its scales when hunting, momentary flashes of thrill beneath calm waters. The sailfish's spear-like bill slices through the sea with precision, echoing the elegance of motion found only in creatures forged by speed and grace. Even in its bursts of power, the sailfish glides with a dancer's finesse, reminding us that in the vast stage of the ocean, some beings embody momentum not as chaos, but as poetry, a blur of life whispering past in brilliant silence. Fact 55. In the deepest stretches of the Atlantic Ocean, scientists have discovered a largely unseen world glowing with ancient light. communities of deep-sea corals. Unlike their sunlit cousins in tropical shallows, these corals thrive in total darkness, surviving thousands of feet below the surface by capturing drifting organic material with slow, graceful arms. Some of these coral colonies are over 4,000 years old, growing just fractions of an inch per year, like slow-burning candles in a place where time itself is thick. They form twisting, tree-like structures, ivory and rose-hued, rising from underwater cliffs and escarpments to shelter fish, crabs, and countless unseen creatures of the abyss. Their silent presence, far beyond the reach of sunlight, speaks not of flamboyance, but of endurance. A quiet sculpting of beauty in absence, lifetimes whispered across millennia. As we drift lower through this final curtain of depth, their branches sway not from wind, but from the long breath of the ocean, dreaming beneath its ancient pulse. And so, in the hush of the deep's last glow, this tapestry of coral becomes our final cradle, a resting place for the night to come, where even sleep can take root in stone and silence. Good night, dear listener. May the echoes of these waters carry you gently into tides of peace and dreams as endless as the sea. Fact 56. Beneath the Tokik moonlight, weaving through mangrove roots and calm bays, glides the horseshoe crab, a creature more ancient than the dinosaurs. With a rounded carapace like an armored shield and 10 legs hidden beneath, it moves slowly across sandy shallows, its tail spine trailing like a forgotten pen drawing lines in time. Despite its name, the horseshoe crab is more closely related to spiders and scorpions than to true crabs, and its blue blood, rich with copper, is vital to modern medicine for detecting harmful bacteria. During spring tides, they rise in quiet procession to spawn on moonlit shores, a ritual older than memory, illuminating coasts with their slow, deliberate movement. Their curved forms glimmer in the tide as if time itself were surfacing to breathe. In every motion and molt lies endurance, a patient rhythm that has outlived epochs and watched countless suns rise. They are living fossils, reminders that life is not just about change, but also the grace of staying perfectly the same. Fact 57. Wandering through the icy northern Pacific, the Pacific halibut glides over the continental shelf like a living shadow stitched to the seafloor. Flat as a page and wide as a door, this bottom-dwelling fish begins life shaped like many others, but as it matures, one eye migrates to join the other on the upward-facing side of its body. Camouflaged against mottled sand and pebble, it lies in waiting, using patience as its greatest strength. Some live beyond 50 years, their flesh storing the stories of decades beneath the sea. Halibut migrations span hundreds of miles, tracing ancient paths guided by temperature, depth, and spawning cycles written into the sea's quiet code. When they rise from the depths, caught in slow arcs on the edge of the abyss, their great pale forms shine like forgotten leaves turned underwater, heavy with the weight of waiting. They are quiet voyagers of the benthic world, keepers of steady time where the ocean presses close and the surface is a distant thunder, too far above to interrupt the serenity below. Fact 58. Along the vibrant reefs of the Indo-Pacific, the clownfish makes its home within the wavering arms of sea anemones, a delicate partnership that defies the harsh rules of survival. Immune to the sting of their host's venomous tentacles due to a special mucus coating, clownfish find shelter and security among the flowing polyps, while the anemone benefits from their movements, which boost circulation and deter predators. Their bright orange and white bands flicker like lantern light between coral shadows, a gentle rhythm of motion and pause. Clownfish live in small family groups with a strict social hierarchy in which the largest is female, and if she dies, the dominant male transforms to take her place. This quiet transformation, happening unnoticed beneath the shimmer of waves, reveals the sea's fluid understanding of form and role. As day turns to dusk, these reef dwellers retreat into their soft fortresses, nestled among stinging threads that become comfort, not harm. A contrast that reminds us how deeply the ocean specializes in paradox, where danger and safety often share the same space, and brilliance blooms in the smallest corners of the deep. Fact 59. In the shadowed estuaries of South America glides a creature both electric and elusive, the electric eel. Despite its name, it is not a true eel, but a knife fish, cloaked in sleek, muscular darkness that hides a powerful secret: the ability to generate electric shocks reaching up to 600 volts. Using specialized cells called electrocytes, the electric eel can launch pulses for navigation, communication, and stunning prey in the murky waters it calls home. Often lurking in still, muddy channels, it rises occasionally to the surface for air, drawing breath through a mouth that opens silently against the night breeze. These pulses of electricity are felt as quiet gestures, invisible yet commanding, a language spoken in charge and quiet force. In the hushed brown rivers where vision fades and echoes reign, the electric eel is a silent beacon, moving like a conductor in an underwater symphony of sense and spark. A reminder that even in the calmest waters, energy flows with purpose, unseen but ever present in the dark. Fact 60. Floating through the open oceans like living orreries, the salps drift in translucent chains that pulse with rhythm and gentle grace. These gelatinous tunicates often form long, undulating colonies that move in synchronization, filtering seawater as they swim and nourishing themselves on microscopic plankton. Despite their simple appearance, salps play an outsized role in the ocean's carbon cycle, capturing carbon and sending it downward to the deep sea. Some species, tethered together in draping ribbons, can span several meters, their bodies glowing faintly in the moonlit plankton bloom. Though nearly invisible by day, they emerge as dusky lanterns come twilight, following the slow migration of the upper ocean's secret life. Each pulse is both propulsion and breath, a low murmur in the heart of the sea, reminding us that even the quietest lives contribute to the hymn of motion that keeps the ocean dreaming. So let us drift a moment longer with them, adrift and aglow, carried gently by the ever-turning current toward the soft horizon of sleep. Fact 61. In the blue folds between surface wind and ocean current, the tiny violet by-the-wind sailor floats delicately upon the sea. A cousin to the Portuguese man-o'-war, it spreads a small sail above the waves, catching wind and light like a leaf adrift on breath. Beneath, its tentacles trail in search of plankton and other drifting food, surviving where wind and tide together draw borders invisible to land. When thousands gather after storms, shorelines shimmer with purples and transparent blues, as if the sea has left behind a poem of itself written in delicate ink. Despite its fragile look, the by-the-wind sailor journeys far, guided only by wind's quiet desire, proof that not all travelers need control to find their way. It is the ocean's soft message that surrender too can be a strength, a floating life composed not of muscle or force, but of trust in the rhythms that hold and carry all things down their sleepy paths. Fact 62. On the ocean floor, where darkness wraps the world in silence and pressure sculpts everything into endurance, the Venus flower basket stands as a cathedral wrought from glass. This deep-sea sponge, found in the West Pacific, forms an intricate lattice of silica fibers that resemble delicate filigree under magnification. Within its hollow body, a pair of tiny shrimp become trapped early in life, growing too large to escape and living the rest of their days inside this glass sanctuary. They feed on particles filtered by the sponge in a partnership of mutual peace, echoing the patience of the deep. In Japan, these sponges are seen as symbols of eternal love, gifted as wedding presents for the bond they quietly protect. As currents pass through the lace of its form, the Venus flower basket hums its quiet purpose, a poem of devotion etched not in ink, but in crystal breath beneath 1,000 meters of still sea. Fact 63. In the narrow bands of twilight that frame the open sea, the swordfish swims like a solitary knight beneath burnished waters. Recognizable by its long, flat bill and streamlined body, the swordfish is among the ocean's most powerful predators, capable of cutting through water at over 50 miles per hour. Its bill is not just for show. It slashes through schools of fish with lightning grace, stunning prey in swift bursts. As it hunts in both the sunlit shallows and the depths of 2,000 feet or more, its body can warm specific muscles and even its brain, granting advantages of precision in the cold. At night, when color fades and shape becomes shadow, the swordfish rises quietly toward the surface, cloaked in calm as it traces invisible trails beneath the stars. With each glide, it carves silence itself, a silver line through liquid dusk, carrying the strength of solitude and the beauty of streamlined intent through the ever-sleeping sea. Fact 64. In the sun-dappled waters of the Caribbean resides the queen conch, a marine snail wrapped in a spiraled shell of pale peach and coral pink. Its shell curves outward like a slow-blooming fingerprint, each ridge marking silent years beneath turquoise waves. The queen conch grazes on algae with a long, ribbon-like tongue, gliding across sandy beds with a large foot that resembles a muscular leaf. As juveniles, they bury themselves for protection, emerging later in life with shells strong enough to weather the wandering tides. Their meat has long been harvested by humans, but it is their shell that whispers most deeply of age and elegance, often found empty, resting like sea-fluted relics along the shore. Within the quiet curve of a conch, sound seems almost to echo from the past, a ghost of waves and voices and twilight surf. They are treasures not for their brightness, but for the hushed stories they carry, of journeys that take no map and homes carried gently on the back. Fact 65. Beneath the Antarctic's frozen canopy stirs the sea spider, a creature more alien than familiar, with spindly legs stretching many times the length of its tiny body. Though called a spider, it is not one, but a marine arthropod, slow-moving and delicate, often no larger than a child's hand in temperate waters. Yet in the polar deep, some reach dinner plate proportions, a phenomenon known as polar gigantism. With no lungs or vast circulatory systems, its oxygen moves quietly through its limbs, diffusing as gently as breath through gossamer. Feeding on soft-bodied prey like anemones and sponges, the sea spider drifts through the under-ice world, its thin legs painting fragile lines across the seabed. In this realm of cold light and drifting snowflakes of plankton, it endures not by stealth or strength, but by simplicity. It is a creature balanced on the edge of fragility and perseverance, a wraith of the frozen seafloor that moves with the stillness of time, echoing the vast serenity of the ocean's quietest places. And thus, with this final drift into wonder, may your thoughts slow and your breath deepen, as sleep gathers like a gentle tide and the ocean continues its lullaby beyond the veil of dreams. Fact 66. In the hidden folds of the Pacific Northwest's temperate waters, the giant Pacific octopus resides, draped in mottled reds and rusts, blending like a thought into the surrounding reef. Growing to spans of over 20 feet and weighing more than 100 pounds, it is considered the largest of all octopus species. It carries itself with astonishing grace and silence. With 3 hearts and the intelligence to open jars, solve puzzles, and remember individual humans, it is a creature that walks the line between alien awareness and earthly wonder. Known to decorate their dens with shells and bottle caps, these cephalopods display both instinct and curiosity as they patrol their shadowy domains. They live short lives by human standards, yet fill them with quiet artistry and fluid mastery of form. When they approach their final days, they retreat into the stillness of a hidden cave, spinning a veil of stones and shell around them, as if preparing for a final sleep. And so the ocean holds another mystery close, a soft-handed genius wrapped in shadows, vanishing as dreams do when dawn stirs the sea's surface light. Sleep now, where thoughts dissolve like ink in current, and the gentle mind of the ocean whispers its endless stories beneath the tide. Fact 67. Drifting through the dark blue vastness of the open ocean, the narwhal glides like a breath wrapped in myth. Native to the icy waters of the Arctic, this elusive whale carries a single twisted tusk, an elongated tooth that can reach up to 10 feet long, spiraling like a frozen unicorn's horn. This ivory lance, once thought to possess magical properties, is now known to be sensitive to temperature and pressure, laced with millions of nerve endings that help the narwhal sense subtle shifts in its chilly world. Often traveling in pods beneath fragmented ice and under the low amber sun of the polar horizon, narwhals echo through the depths with high-frequency clicks and whistles, navigating the frozen maze by sound alone. Their world is hushed and silver-lit, a kingdom of ice and echo, where little is seen and much is felt. To cross paths with a narwhal is to glimpse the soft truth behind ancient legends, that wonder is not make-believe, but swims quietly in the folds of a sea still deeper than we know. And with that final flicker of mystery beneath the ice, our journey through the sleeping ocean draws to a gentle close. May these ripples of deep time follow you into dreams, and the hush of the sea wrap you softly in rest. Fact 68. As the final twilight falls across the ocean's mirrored surface, a delicate creature known as the pelagic sea slug or sea angel drifts silently through polar waters. Barely the size of a grape, its translucent wings pulse with ethereal grace, propelling it forward in slow, fluttering dances that resemble flight more than swimming. Unlike its garden-dwelling cousins, the sea angel is a predator, gliding through the frigid dark in pursuit of even smaller snails. Its body seems carved from frost and breath, a soft shimmer of motion in the stillness. No shell binds it, only the flow of seawater and the rhythm of survival. In the quiet beneath drifting ice, Sea angels move not in haste, but in ritual, a snow ballet of the abyss, unchanged for eons. And so we leave the ocean here, wrapped in the wings of these diminutive spirits, their silent flight pulling the final threads of this journey into sleep. Let go now, and allow the sea's lullaby to guide you gently into stillness, where every breath becomes a wave, and every wave a dream. Good night. Fact 69. Gliding silently just beneath the surface of warm coastal waters, the spotted eagle ray moves like a tapestry in flight, its wings spread wide in quiet triumph over current and tide. Covered in pale dots upon dark skin, its pattern mirrors starlight scattered across a nocturnal sky, trailing long tails like ribbons of memory behind. With a flat, slender body and a slightly upturned snout, it swims with undulating grace, searching the sandy floor for buried mollusks. Inside coral bays and over seagrass plains, it soars weightless, rarely pausing, embodying a wordless elegance that needs no shore. Often seen in pairs or drifting trios, they pass like thoughts across the sea's surface, belonging to a story told in ebb and horizon. In their motion is the poetry of freedom. In their gaze, a stillness as old as tide. And as they fade into the blue, one rhythmic beat at a time, may your breath follow theirs, slow, fluid, moonlit, carrying you gently into sleep. The sea will keep watch, soft and eternal. Good night. Fact 70. In the quiet waters ringing coastal Japan, the giant Japanese spider crab walks the ocean floor like a spider from a dream, its scale both surreal and solemn. With a leg span that can reach nearly 12 feet from tip to tip, it is the largest known arthropod alive, yet moves with careful, deliberate steps across rocky seabeds and sunken wreckage. Its orange and cream shell is flecked like coral, blending into its surroundings like a sculpture misplaced by time. Despite its fearsome size, it is gentle by nature, a slow scavenger nibbling on detritus and carrion with long, dexterous limbs. These crabs can live over a century, bearing witness to currents, seasons, and shifting sands long after most others pass. Their pace teaches patience, their shape echoes myth, and their path along the ocean floor reminds us that even the strangest forms may move in peace. And now, with seabeds stilled and kelp swaying slow in the breath of night, it is time for rest. Let the memories of these quiet lives carry you gently into dreams, where the sea continues its low and endless hymn, soft, steady, and waiting. Good night. Fact 71. In the still depths near the Gulf of California, the vampire squid drifts with a serene lethargy, unfurling its cloak-like web between 8 velvety arms. Despite its name, it feeds not on blood, but on the detritus of the deep, organic particles and marine snow gathered gently from the dark water. Its gelatinous body glows with the quiet mystery of bioluminescence, emitting tiny sparks from photophores across its skin like embers suspended in black velvet. The vampire squid's blood is rich in copper, enabling it to absorb oxygen even in the profound silence of oxygen-starved depths. Rather than fleeing threats, it curls inward, forming a glowing orb of safety and stillness, its movement more suggestion than motion. It is a creature not of horror, but of dusk, born in twilight, shaped by pressure, and clothed in softness. And so, as this final glow flickers beneath fathomless waves, let the hush of the ocean carry you like a leaf on a midnight tide. May your dreams be quiet, your deep mind weightless, and your rest as profound as the sea. Good night, again and always. Fact 72. Settled in the soft sands of shallow Indo-Pacific lagoons, the garden eels sway like tall grasses in a seafloor breeze. Living in colonies by the hundreds, each eel emerges partway from its burrow, rising upright to feed on drifting plankton carried by the gentle current. Their slender bodies bob with the rhythm of water, casting the illusion of a submarine meadow blooming under waves. If approached too closely, they vanish into their burrows in unison, as if the field itself had folded inward. They live much of their lives this way, half submerged, watching the world pass in slow, silken threads from the safety of home. Each garden eel is a quiet sentinel, rooted in patience and attuned to flow, a creature of both earth and water that teaches the peace of staying still. With this final image of an underwater field, dappled by light and drifting in calm communion, we bring our dreaming voyage to rest. Let the steady rise and fall of the tides rock you gently, and may sleep come slowly, like the current over the garden eels, soft, constant, and kind. Good night. Fact 73. High in the open ocean drifts the paper nautilus, neither truly a nautilus nor made of paper, but a delicate slipper of the deep. The female of this pelagic octopus species creates a translucent shell not for protection, but as a floating nursery for her eggs, a paper-thin chamber cradling the next generation within a spiral of silk and calcium. She clings gently to this shell with her arms, becoming one with it through the long drift, while the male, tiny in comparison, lives a fleeting, wandering existence. The paper nautilus is a voyager born of stillness, its journey unhurried, its path drawn not by destination, but by the pull of current and moon. Its spiral is a whisper written in bone, a dream etched over fragile weeks across the traveling sea. And now, as its soft orbit fades into the vast and silent blue, so too may your thoughts recede, floating like gentle breath through the veil of sleep. With this final note carried on rippling hush, we lower the curtain on tonight's ocean tale. May your rest be deep, your dreams wide, and your spirit held adrift in a sea of stars. Good night. Fact 74. Beneath the layered hues of Indonesia's coral triangle, the pygmy seahorse clings to the gnarled branches of Gorgonian sea fans, its tiny form almost impossible to discern. Barely the size of a grain of rice, it mimics the texture and color of the coral polyps around it with uncanny precision, blushing in soft pinks, oranges, or yellows, depending on its host. These shy beings spend most of their lives anchored in place, gently swaying with the tide, bonded not only to their coral home, but to the quiet lull of stillness itself. Their camouflage is not merely protection, but a kind of merging, a surrender to their surroundings so complete it becomes art. Even birthing is hushed, with the male nurturing the brood in his pouch until miniature copies blink softly into the current. To see a pygmy seahorse is to confront the ocean's love for secrecy, to marvel at beauty made small and silent. And now, as this final secret settles like mist over a sleeping sea, drift quietly into dreams, where the tiniest lives leave the gentlest echoes. Good night once more, and may you rest as the ocean rests, vast, quiet, and whole. Fact 75. In the motionless pools left behind by a receding tide, a fleeting world awakens. Tide pools, miniature universes cradled in rock and salt. Here, sea stars inch silently across barnacled stone. Hermit crabs trade homes with mindful deliberation, and anemones pulse like slow heartbeats beneath glossy water. These pocketed echoes of the ocean hold the story of the sea in a single breath, containing the rise and fall of worlds within a shallow basin. As waves whisper beyond the barrier, life continues in suspended calm, waiting for the tide's return. Children of both land and ocean, tide pool creatures teach the grace of impermanence, of belonging to more than one rhythm. And so we end our journey at the edge where sea becomes land, where quiet pools glisten under moonlight like stilled dreams. Let your final thoughts settle here, as if resting in a tide pool of night, held lightly by stone and time. With the ocean's embrace fading softly behind you, close your eyes now. May slumber arrive like the turning tide, slow, sure, and filled with quiet wonders. Good night. Fact 76. As the final hush of night deepens over the world's coasts, and the sea begins its long exhale toward first morning light, it is worth remembering the moon jellyfish, a luminous disk adrift through coastal tides, soft as breath and ancient as the stars. With a bell-shaped body that pulses in gentle contractions, the moon jelly glows faintly in the dark with a milky transparency that reflects both moonlight above and bioluminescence within. Its short, fine tentacles draw plankton into a drifting ballet of nourishment and motion, needing no chase and offering no harm. It has no heart, no brain, only rhythm. A quiet loop passed from cell to cell, allowing it to float endlessly on the currents of a changing world. In aquariums and open sea alike, its motion hypnotizes, cradling watchers in something close to sleep. And now, as this glowing bell moves slowly through waters soft with dreams, so may you too drift untethered. Let your breath find the ocean's pace. Let your dreams bloom like moon jellies in the darkest water. Let sleep come, peaceful and full of light. One final good night. Fact 77. Floating near the surface of calm tropical waters, the manatee moves with the unhurried rhythm of a drifting cloud. Often called sea cows for their placid natures and slow grazing, these gentle herbivores spend up to 8 hours a day consuming water plants, their soft, whiskered snouts nudging lily stems and seagrass alike. With rounded bodies and paddle-shaped tails, they navigate coastlines and river mouths in silence, rarely disturbing the mirror of the sea. Mothers cradle calves in warm shallows, their bond tender and watched only by birds wheeling in the quiet blue. Though massive in form, manatees speak in whispers, soft chirps and squeaks beneath the surface, notes exchanged in murky green. Ancient mariners, mistaking them for mermaids, saw briefly in their grace a flicker of something otherworldly. Today, they remain a calm reminder that strength does not require speed, nor purpose noise. And now, with this final float beneath sun-warmed stillness, our odyssey concludes. May your sleep be as gentle as a manatee's drift, untroubled and wide, cradled by the sea's last lullaby. Good night, traveler of the tides, and may calm follow you like water follows the moon. Fact 78. Somewhere deep within the waterlogged jungles of Southeast Asia glides the archerfish, a small golden-scaled marvel that hunts with nothing more than a carefully aimed droplet of water. Lurking beneath tree branches that stretch over brackish estuaries, it spots unsuspecting insects resting above and shoots a precise jet of water from its mouth to knock them into the sea. This trick is practiced and taught anew with each generation, requiring the archerfish to account for light's refraction on the water surface, adjusting aim like a living periscope. In its quiet precision, this fish embodies the spirit of the sea's subtle genius, a lesson in patience, calculation, and flow. To watch it is to see thought becoming action with the gentlest force, a ripple in stillness turned into sustenance. And so ends this slow tide of truths and mysteries, where sleep and science drifted hand in hand beneath the ocean's hush. All now is settled. May the waves within you lie calm, and your rest be deep as these waters. One final breath, one final drift. Good night.